Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Borkino game video. Today's video is dedicated to a reroll tier list. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe if it's your first time here. 7,500 subs, we'll be doing that giveaway. Alright, let's go ahead and go over the Google Sheets. So just note these are the first 12 characters that you can pretty much get in the 3-star reroll. I rerolled in JP for 2 weeks straight, and I did not see any other character outside of these 12. And there are, twice as many characters, if not triple the amount of characters in JP. You need to reroll for Makoto. The reason why is most of these characters, they're going to be farmable via like a shard system, or they're going to be farmable via a shop. Makoto is the only 3-star unit in the game right now where she is only obtainable via clan shop, and she's good at clan battle, and you can't obtain her if you're not good at clan shop, and pretty much competitive or hardcore guilds or clans will not accept you if you do not have Makoto, because she will double your damage in clan battle. And the reason why people want to rank high in clan battle is because essentially if you can hit above like the top 300, you get 4,000 jewels, which is essentially 2 multis. Or if you can hit above like the top 1500, you'll get 3,000 jewels, which is still 2 multis, because each multi in Princess Connect is 1,500 jewels. All right, so this is going to be one of the most important aspects of generating jewels within Princess Connect. If you can stay within certain brackets, just note that our jewel ratios will change because some regions are getting more jewels than others, so who knows how much we can get. But this is something to look into. That way you can get a steady income of generating multis as you're playing Princess Connect. And hopefully Crunchyroll is very generous with the amount of jewels that they inject into the game, right? A couple of ground rules. There's the clan battle focus, there's the PvP focus, and there's the story focus, and pretty much a bunch of things where I'm like, hey, this is what certain units are good at. Let's go ahead and go over the tier list. And this has a lot to do with the fact of availability and their star ranking. So I pretty much put all of the characters where you can only get them via 3-star and above, 29 through 141. Thing below that is 2-star, right? So one of the things that I wanted to cover is pretty much these ratings. So S, highest score that I can give this character, A to like A minus, A plus. A minus is like they're useful at it, but it's mostly because of their rank. A just means they're solid, and then A plus means like I really want to make them pretty much S. B is like they're useful and they're good at it, but there's other units pretty much like better than it, and if they get a C, they're borderline, like you shouldn't use them for that game mode. All right, so a couple of things. Makoto, she is pretty much the best unit in clan battle. We already talked about it, we went over her. Maho, she is an absolute unit. She's not only good for healing, she's good for TP boosting. TP boosting is the most important part of the game because pretty much you are able to generate your ults faster, and if you can get your team to generate ults faster, you are essentially dealing more damage, you're tanking better, you're healing better, you're pretty much doing everything more often. All right, Shizuru, she is going to be a pretty decent unit in clan battle. Just note that she doesn't really shine for PvP that much. She is good though, she's very usable. It's just that her position makes her awkward because she is pretty much the last frontline position. We'll talk about that later, but essentially she's a little awkward with her placement. All right, just note that she can tank, but she is not the best tank, while she can do it, and she's pretty decent for story if you want her there. Hatsune has a special place in my heart because she is the best magical unit in the game, and the reason why I gave her A plus and A in clan battle is because if a magical boss, a boss who is weak to magical attacks appears, Hatsune is going to be good at it. But the thing is, that's going to be a rare occasion. That's not going to happen frequently. Most of the clan battle bosses are physical, so she won't see much use in clan battle. But she is an A when there is a magical boss or a boss who is weak to magical. All right. And then as far as PvP goes, she's pretty much the best unit in PvP right now. Magical attacks never miss, and that's why Hatsune is #1 and pretty much the best unit in PvP. And what some people like to do is you pretty much rush PvP. Tomias made a guide on it, and pretty much you can get up to 60,000 jewels. 60,000 jewels if you can rush PvP to the top 10 ranks, all right? And Hatsune will definitely get you there. Makoto can't do that, but the thing is Makoto will have better longevity. than someone like Hatsune, who's only good in PvP. Makoto is only good at clan battle, but you know, clan battle is more consistent with the jewels. PvP is not consistent with jewels because those 60,000 gems or 45,000 gems that you can get from PvP are one time. So if you guys want me to explain it in another video, let me know. So here is Saren. Now the thing is with Saren is she is a fantastic unit, but she requires someone to be next to her. She's essentially similar to Maho where she does TP boosting, but she is a middle line unit. What does that mean? She essentially sits right in the middle of the field, and if she is not in the front line, she's not boosting someone like Makoto, right? She has to be close to the person, so the person next to her will get all of the TP boosts. She's not a damage dealer, she is an enabler to help someone deal damage, alright? When I give her this A+ rating, it's entirely situational because if she's not next to a good character, she will fall down in usage, alright? So it's all based off of where you place her. This rank can definitely change if you place her next to a bad midliner. Alright, Monica, pretty great midliner. Her main usage is in PvP. Honestly, you know, she's decent in story, but her main ability that makes her like amazing is her speed buff. That speed buff is one of the best ones, and note that she can also have a stun later on. She's a really solid unit overall, but definitely not a must pull like the way Hatsune and Makoto are in Maho. Alright, Makoto specifically for clan battle, Maho for general use, and then Hatsune for PvP, right? And then let's go ahead and go over Io. Io is really good for PvP. I skipped Anna, but we'll cover her. She makes other units hit themselves, and the only reason why she gets an A in story is because of the fact that she can deal magical damage, and not a lot of units are pretty much good at dealing magical damage, alright? And then she gets a B- in clan battle. You can almost give her a C in some case. The only reason why she gets that B is because if you need like someone to deal magical damage, she can do it, but honestly she's pretty useless in clan battle. You can give her a C if you really wanted to, but that's why she gets like a B-. She's borderline, you know, not good at that. Anna, alright, she is a meme queen, alright? A meme queen. What happens is she pretty much casts her Union Burst, and then all of her defenses go to 0. So if anyone so much as look at her after she casts her Union Burst, she instantly dies, and that's why she is C tier for story. Clan battle, she's B tier if she can somehow never get hit, but honestly, I only recommend using her for PvP. She's a complete glass cannon. You know, if you like her character design, I understand. I love her character design. Too bad she reduces her own defense to 0. I have no idea why she does that. Probably learn it in her character's story arc. Ninon, really great PvP unit, same with Reno. They're pretty much similar in taste, except Ninon is more of a midline unit, Reno is more of a backline. Reno has better positioning, IMO. Both of them are really good in PvP. They're both decent in story. Reno's a little bit better because she sits in the backline, and pretty much the backline is a little bit safer so long as the units, you know, you're facing aren't specifically tackling the backline, alright? Nozomi. Nozomi is pretty much the perfect tank in the game. Some would say she is the best reroll in the game currently. The thing is with Nozomi, while she's S tier in story, A- in PvP, and B in clan battle. By the way, every single tank is going to be B in clan battle because essentially you want to deal damage in clan battle, and if you can't deal damage in clan battle, you're essentially B tier, alright? That's pretty much the way it works. Nozomi is not good at dealing damage because she's a tank. Anyways, let's go back to Nozomi and why she is both the best and she will also technically become mediocre as more units release. So what happens is there's a thing called unique equipment in, you know, Princess Connect. Other units will pretty much outclass her in, you know, their viability. Like for example, Saren will get huge gains from unique equipment, but someone like Nozomi is going to suffer because her unique equipment only provides a stun. While she is good now, if you want a unit that will get easily to 5-star, a unit almost every single game mode in story, you will be really good. She's good for dungeon, she's good for almost everything, she's good for PvP. Just note that she's not the best for clan battle and she will fall off very quickly. But if you want a unit that will just carry you through content, she is your girl, because she can buff, she can heal, she can taunt, she can do a little bit of damage, she can do it all. But other units will outclass her in the future, and it's really unfortunate because she is one of the best units to get to 5-star, you know, almost immediately if you can. Now Aquino, she is a little bit weird. The only reason why she gets B pluses, honestly you can give her a B minus, is just because she's 3-star. She will be, you know, difficult to use later on just because her shards only come from hard story. And then Dijita, she is the best unit for clan battle currently. If you want to be competitive in clan battle attack wise, like dealing damage wise, Dijita is your girl. Now a thing is with Makoto, she is someone who debuffs and can also take hits and also deal attacks. If you pair Makoto with Dijita, you are going to do insane amounts of damage. Note that Dijita is pretty much the best single target in the game right now. She will get outclassed very quickly, but for now she is number one until we get more units. All right, a couple more things that I wanted to cover before we pretty much walk away from this 3 stars. Right, you can see right here there is sources. So pretty much clan shop is the only way to get Makoto, and that's why she's a priority reroll, because it will be very difficult to acquire shards for her and it'll take forever to essentially 5-star her. Right, Maho, you can get her from Dungeon Shop. Dungeon Shop is really easy to get shards from, so that's why, you know, you don't really have to reroll for her because she's going to be really easy to get. Really quick, just as an example, what I'm talking about here is if I go into home and then you go into shop, what some people like to do is they will buy out specifically one unit and they'll consistently, let's do cancel, they keep resetting. So you buy multiple copies of this one unit that you're focusing on and then you reset. That's how I got my Yukari to 3 stars so quickly, because I kept buying out her memory shards within this dungeon shop and then I would reset it. Once it gets to 50, I don't think it's, you know, recommended, but ideally you focus on particular units. I'll do a guide for, you know, shard farming and everything, but pretty much this is why someone like Makoto is very difficult to get, because the clan section, it's not even available and it's going to be very difficult to acquire her because she is such a valuable unit for clan battle. Right, let's go ahead and jump right back into here. Shizuru, you can get her from hard story mode. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you go into quest right here, you go into main quest. All right, so this is main quest hard mode, and you can see right here Shizuru is 0 out of 3. What happened was I did, you know, 3 runs in hard mode and I got her shards. Right, I have 21 shards thanks to all the farming I've been doing. It's a very slow way of getting hard shards. I've gone through days where I get 1 shard a day, I've gone through days where I get 2 shards a day, and I've gone through days when you get no shards a day. It's a very painful experience, but that's also the reason why it's, you know, not, some people will say you have to do it every single day, some people say you don't. It all is based off of personal preference and the heroes that you value. I don't think Shizuru is worth it personally, just because like someone like Saren is a little bit better for that. Right, and I add some comments pretty much on the side saying, you know, you should get her, you should not get her, so on and so forth. Right, next thing is going to be Monica. I recommend picking her up for arena purposes. Anna, you know, no, not really, we already talked about her. Io, clan shop, no, you should focus on Makoto. 5 stars as soon as possible. Ninon, you know, she's okay, you don't really need her unless you want PvP. Same thing with Reno. Nozomi, yes, if you want to get her to 5-star, you know, she's going to be a very great asset, but I recommend getting Yukari to 2-star or 1 copy of Maho. Right, and then you can also get Aquino in hard story. You know, you don't really have to get her, she doesn't become valuable until 6-star in unique equipment, and that's months or if not years for pretty much 6-star. Right, unique equipment might be, you know, right around the corner because it is pretty much the next chapter we get unique equipment, which is chapter 9. Right now the highest chapter in the game is chapter 8, by the way. Next is going to be Jita. You know, feel free to get her hard story mode. She is pretty much like the best unit in clan battle right now until more units release. And then, you know, we're pretty much covering 2 stars. I'm not going to cover the rest of the units because I feel like 3 stars people want like the most coverage on. If you want to read like, you know, more of this, you know, feel free to check out the links in the description. But let's go ahead and cover some more units. Miyako is pretty much the best physical tank. I want to emphasize physical tank in the entire game, and she will carry you through story. She is in some ways better than Nozomi for physical tanking, but Nozomi is technically better, you know, utility wise because she can do so much. Just note that, you know, Miyako, she is also going to be B tier for clan battle just because of the fact that she's a tank. All right, Tamaki. Next one is going to be, you know, our magical assassin. She is my favorite magical assassin slash she is our only magical assassin, and she's absolutely deadly in PvP and an absolute unit, like one of my favorite units in the game. No, she is not really the best in story. I gave her an A because she's, you know, comes at 2-star and she does some decent damage. All right, Mimi, she is an A minus. You know, if she's the only one that you have that's a 2-star, she's a decent attacker. IMO, she does her job very well. She's really great in PvP. If you have other, you know, attackers, like for example, you have Jita, then, you know, feel free to use them. But honestly, Mimi is not a bad one to use. Susanna, all right. The thing is with Susanna here is that same thing with Shori. They're both bow users, right? The thing is with them is they are fantastic in pretty much clan battle and story. What happens though, when they're in, you know, a PvP situation, when they cast their union burst, they can miss. And when you miss, you pretty much just wasted your union burst, and that's why she's at B. Shori's at A because, you know, she might be able to hit and then cast her union burst again. But honestly, you can rank her as an A minus slash B plus or something, right? A little bit better than Susanna in some ways. But honestly, to me in my heart, they sort of rank in the same, you know, category. Mitsuki, she is only getting A minuses and B pluses because she is 2-star upon summoning, right? So Mitsuki is a weird one in the sense of she can do debuffs and she can do the curse ability. She's not going to hit hard, but she's just a unit that's there. Honestly, you know, if you need someone, you like, for example, if you didn't pull Makoto, then Mitsuki is another like decent option that you can go towards. You know what I mean? So that's why she gets an A minus for clan battle, just because of the fact that she can physical defense debuff. But honestly, you should really get Makoto, because if you don't get her, it's gonna be very hard to get into clans, if you know what I mean. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about other units and cover Akari. She's like the only 2-star magical DPS that is decent outside of Hatsune, Anna, and Io. Anna, you know, she kills herself. Io, she's pretty much, you know, very niche to PvP. In some cases, Akari could be better once she gets to 3-star as well. She also gets her shards from dungeon. Honestly, you should focus on getting Nozomi and, you know, Maho and Yukari before you get, you know, start focusing on someone Akari. So it might be a while before you get her to like 3-star. Honestly, she's a decent alternative if you want to use her. Just note that she is more of a buffer and debuffer and less of an actual attacker. Honestly, you can pace her, you know, lower in clan battle if it's not a magical, you know, weak boss. And then of course PvP, magic never misses, so that's always good. And then she's decent in story because of the fact that she's magical, right? It's a very, very rare ability in this game. Kaori lives and breathes in clan battle. She's one of the best. Her placement is a little awkward because she's in front of like tanks like Pekko, but in clan battle, there's some places where you can essentially ignore the tanks because you'll be beefy enough to face tank. If you are over leveled, we can cover that in another video, but pretty much she is a absolute unit in clan battle and you want to raise her for that specific purpose. Do not raise her in the beginning. We'll cover it later where it's progression wise, but she is not someone who's good in story. She's pretty terrible at it, to say the least. And note here, this is a common trend. There's no such thing as a unit except for Maho, who's like technically a support, who's good at every single game mode. Saren's also situational, even though she gets an A+ across the board, and so is Hatsune. Alright, just because she is the only magical DPS and Saren is more of a booster. We already talked about Monica, where she sort of falls off in story just because, you know, AoE is not that great in story. It's like really weird how that works. It's not that good. Alright, let's cover other things and go into Shinobu. Shinobu is a weird like half tank character. She summons her undead dad to do some face tanking. She can do a little bit of debuffing. She can, you know, do a little bit of buffs later on in the game. She can also do AoE damage. She's like a jack of all trades, master of none, topsy-turvy unit. You can technically use her, you know, if you don't have Makoto, but honestly, you know, you should use Makoto if you're for clan battle. But outside of that, I would say she's pretty decent in story mode, just because you need more tanking in story mode. Story mode is more about tanking and less about dealing damage unless you're in hard mode, which, you know, hard mode story is an entirely different situation, IMO. Alright, Kuka. Kuka is the best magical tank in the game. I highly recommend using her if you have any moments where, you know, you need a magical tank. She's very situational in her use in story, but when she shines really bright. and she is a decent alternative. You can technically use her with Pekko sort of, but you know, it's situational, you know what I mean? She's a magical tank. I want to emphasize that. She's not going to be good all the time, but she's going to be good sometimes, okay? And then pretty much she gets S rank in PvP because we talked about it. Magical is really good. Magic never misses. Kuka, she is going to be good at pretty much countering magical attacks. But most people like to run Miyako because, you know, Miyako pretty much shuts down physical. And what happens is if you, for example, run Mimi, who's like a physical attacks absolutely shred any mage like in the game because most of the mages are very physically weak. All right, Mahiru, don't use her. Cows go moo. You know, she's our neighborhood farmer, all that stuff. Memes aside, I don't recommend using her unless you just need like a DPS, but seriously, don't use her if you can avoid it. Yuki for PvP, okay? You don't use Yuki outside of anything else for that. If you want to, you can temporarily use him for story. I did it. I don't recommend it. It was kind of painful. Honestly, I recommend using Yuki temporarily. Eventually, you're gonna phase Yuki out, all right? Chica is a very good unit when she hits rank 7, and she's mostly used when you are using 2 healers at once. Honestly, you shouldn't use Chica if you have Yui because everyone gets Yui for free. Mifu, don't use her, no comment. Eriko, absolute like unit. She is both the craziest waifu, she hits hard, and she is squishy as F, alright? She is so squishy, and I don't recommend using her for a story unless you have a decent tank that can taunt. Like for example, if you're running Nozomi, feel free to run Eriko and she will deal an insane amount of damage. You'll be in awe at how much damage she can deal, alright? Really great for clan battle because of her DPS output. Yukari, we are finally down to the 1-star. She is the best 1-star in the entire game. She is S rank across the board. If you have her, get her to 2-star if you're not focusing on Nozomi and Maho yet, alright? Get her to 2-star. You can use her for any situation whatsoever because of the fact that she can TP boost, she can heal, she can bring magic barriers, she can do a little bit of DPS, she can do it all. She is the best unit in the game. She is 1-star. She is only going to get better in the future. If you don't like Yukari, get over it. She's the best unit in the game, alright? She is going to be with you through and through. I use her in JP where I have pre-fest units or pretty much the best units in the game, and Yukari is able to sit with them pound for pound, okay? Ray, don't use her. Not until we won't get 6-star for a couple years, if not at bare minimum a couple of months. Until she gets 6-star, she's pretty much not great, okay? Alright, Hiyori, she is pretty good in clan battle. She is not the best in PvP, she's sort of awkward in it, and she's decent in story. Ideally get her to 2-star. Pretty much all of the 1-star units like Yukari and below, I don't recommend using them unless you get them to 2-star. Of course, you can use anyone that you want until chapter 5. Chapter 5 is where things start to get hard. Lima Imo, not the greatest. Only usage is really for PvP. So if you're PvP focused, you know, get a Lima. Aoi, you know, she's okay. Honestly, you know, if you don't like Shori or Suzuna, then you can use Aoi. But honestly, Aoi is a little bit weird because she does debuffs versus actual DPS. Honestly, if she is your waifu, if I'm trashing on any of your waifus, completely ignore me and do what you want. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Princess Connect is about enjoying your waifus. I want to say that very clearly. No matter what I rate them, if Suzume is the best maid waifu and you like maids, then you will raise Suzume. Don't listen to me, alright? Have fun, enjoy yourself. This is a game, first of all, a gacha at best, and this is a waifu collector at its very core. So you do what you want at the end of the day. You know, reroll, tier list aside, okay? Alright, Kurumi, you know, she has a giant bell. You can use her. Misogi's a troublemaker. You don't tier list, yeah? Don't use them if you can avoid them. If you love them, then use them. You know what I mean? Yori, really good at PvP. She is a glass cannon. When she casts her skills, she literally kills herself, okay? That should speak volumes on Yori's capabilities. She is the epitome of a glass cannon, and only use her if you can get her above 1-star. Honestly, it's going to be difficult because she's only available in the clan shop, and we need clan battle for that to come out. And if we're in the clan shop, you should honestly focus on Makoto. but it's up to you at the end of the day. Misaki is good if you want a magical DPS. You don't want to use Karo for some reason, or Kyaru. Honestly, I like Karo better. Is definitely superior to Misaki Imo, alright? The original 4 that you get, you don't reroll for them, but Imo, they are really good at what they do. Pekarine can serve you the entire game if you put some love into her, get her to 2-star. Just note that Pekarine is a buffing tank, so what happens is the longer she's out on the field, the better she gets, alright? Kokoro, she can do it all. She can midline tank, she can self-heal, she can buff your unit, she can give you speed. Just use her at 2-star, she's gonna be amazing. You know, we already talked about Kyaru, great magical DPS, she can do some magical debuffs. If you need a magical DPS whatsoever, you know, feel free to use her. You can use Misaki, it's up to you. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, use Kyaru, okay? And then Destiny is going to be Yui, best healer in the game, okay? Best. When she hits rank 7, she's amazing. Right now, when you get her, initially, she's trash, just like Chica, alright? Healers are trash in the very beginning, except for Yukari. Yukari is absolutely amazing in healing, and that's why you need to use her ASAP. But pretty much that covers everything, alright? This is my reroll tier list. If you want my advice, you go Makoto, and then you get Maho, and you are solid. If you want more advice, you know, you're trying to push pretty much not all content, you want to push PvP in particular, then you will get Makoto and Hatsune, alright? Hatsune or Anna or Ayo, because you're pushing for PvP. If you're pushing for clan battle, you know, you get Makoto and then Digita somehow. Digita cannot be pretty much obtained, like I said, in the first initial reroll, but pretty much once you enter the gacha, you can definitely get a copy of Digita. If you are super into clan battle and you want to be a high performer, and not to mention you can get the other units that we talked about if you want to be even better at a particular place. Just note that you don't want to essentially pigeonhole yourself where you cannot progress through story, alright? I made the mistake of not rerolling for Miyako, and I only used Pekarine in the beginning. I'm not going to lie to you, I had to get Pekarine to 2-star, and it was a little painful because what happens in the future is divine amulets and all the dupe system is very complicated, and you're not supposed to use your divine amulets to essentially get units to 2-star, alright? You're supposed to use them for limited units unless you plan to spend a little. Then, you know, you sort of throw that out the window. At the end of the day, you know, get Makoto plus pretty much the unit that you want to focus on. For example, PvP, clan battle, or story. If you want story, get Nozomi. She's going to make your life absolutely easy. Okay, I hope this tier list was useful. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. We'll do team building guides, more on that, and pretty much more guides on the way we want to do Princess Connect and the way you want to play. I hope this gave you a better idea to who to reroll for, alright? Makoto is rare, that's why you get her. Everyone else is farmable, that's why you don't reroll for them essentially, and clan battle is going to be a huge resource for jewels. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. 7,500 subs will be doing a giveaway, and I will see you in the next one.